Jussi Ora, social entrepreneur and leader that excels in challenges. And he's very explicit about that. The bigger the challenge, the better he'll tackle it. So this morning, we got some really big challenges about how the system is blocking us and how, the elite is running away with our wealth and our well-being and our assets, et cetera, et cetera. His presentation, well, first of all, he's also part of, in Sweden, of Positiva Pengar, which means positive money. And he's operational manager. So he's in the thick of it in Sweden to try out changes. And again, he also has a nice positive title. Sweden's search for a new strategy and to truly become a change maker. And I'm not thinking about IKEA there, but about monetary transformation. Mr. Ora, thank you so much for joining us. You have the floor. Would you
Thanks,
like screen share privilege?
Yeah, I think I have it. Thanks a lot for the introduction and thanks for having me in this fantastic event. It's a pleasure. So let's see how this goes. Yeah, I'm the crazy one who loves challenges. I cannot say I enjoy it every time, but I can't help it. It's my thing, okay? So I'm gonna see if this first challenge to get this work with the presentation is gonna work. Can you see my screen?
Yes. Yeah, it's working now. There we go.
Yeah, let's see if I can. Yeah, you see it now?
Yes.
Okay.
Full screen.
Okay. Now I got next problem. Let me see this. Now, okay. Thanks. First, some words about me. Govert already told some, and but basically I have done some stuff. Some went well, others not so. I've been the man and the oh no man, which means things went well and things went very sour. Mostly venturing into new things. It started at university by writing my essay about the ending of the pension monopoly for white-collar workers in Sweden. That was the big thing. Everyone told me it's too difficult, so I just decided to do it. I ended up with a consultant's work for the biggest insurance company in Sweden, and after that I got an internship there. And I have looked into inside many places in society, reaching from where society has abandoned its citizens, young, sick, old, and to very, very rich people. All this has taught me a lot. I also have an old-fashioned Finnish upbringing that say, never, ever leave your own behind. So the current state of the world and my conviction that everything man-made can be reversed is what drives me. Life is all that matters, and my kids and late father is what motivates me. That's shortly who I am. So imagine if everyone's work was aimed for this, a better life for all. Every day, everyone goes to work to do this. And that is the reason for for this search for new strategy. That is what we want to achieve and why we went for search for this, how we could become the change maker we have to be. So let's first look at the situation today. In the world, inequality skyrockets, poverty and starvation, planetary crisis, housing, health, educational infrastructure, etc. crisis. It should be open goal for us, but we, our movement, very, very marginal, ignored by politicians, government employees. They're very polite, but nothing happens. Media, economists, and the population at large. So what does that tell us? A change is needed, both in the world and in our movement. So what do we have? Well, we have the best product in the world, and we're still not rock stars. And people are not on the streets celebrating a bright future. They should be out there due to what we have, but they are not. What should we do? Still, as I said, best product in the world and still not rock stars. What do we do? Will something magical happen that fixes everything? Or do we take our destiny in our own hands and change so we get the much needed change we are working for? We decided for change so we can drive change. First, we have to realize that change is an inside story and it is done by individuals, one at a time. At the critical mass, the society is changed, so we need to enroll this critical mass. Therefore, we have to become the change maker we want to be individually and as an association. We also have to realize that everyone is either a change maker or if they don't support the change, they're actually breaking the change. So they are the change breaker. So we in Positive Opinion in Sweden have started our journey to become a change maker. And everyone can be a change maker without having to carry the whole world on its shoulder. Starting and doing something will go a long way. People need to believe in themselves, so enhance their belief in themselves is very, very important. Everybody who wants to develop or progress needs support, so we are building that. Experience is the only true knowledge, so we encourage and inspire people to start talking about our things with other people, because in that way you action, you spread the word, and you learn from the reactions actually how well we do it. By doing, we will learn, develop, and get progress. 3 things in one. This is the culture we are working on to build. In this culture, we can grow change skills, self-leadership, and when we do that, that empowers and enables us to change society. We, as an association, progress when individuals progress. So, and if one gets 3 others on board to join us, they support each other and get support, well, then great things will happen. Basically, what I'm saying is we have to support people in their individual transition to become and grow as change makers. This will unlock the potential in them and hence us. This is a grassroots movement. So why grassroots movement? What happens if we change everything through the monetary system and people don't understand how it works nor the reason for it? Will they just take it? Will a majority of the politicians decide for reform just like that and encounter the reactions from economists, media, and people? Let me take an example. In Sweden, our finance minister, she will soon be our prime minister, and those in top positions in the finance department are from the same economic school in Stockholm. Will a majority of them easily break with their academic roots and community? Disregard what they learned and taught? And the other side is everything starts and ends with individual human beings, everything. It's like knowledge or ignorance. Do I go for knowledge or do I ignore? Do I support things or do I resist things? Do I act on it or am I indifferent to everything I see in the world? Am I humble enough to learn new or am I complacent? So continue why grassroots movement. Let's look at power. Lord Acton once said, power tends to corrupt and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Money in our world is an absolute necessity. This gives money enormous power. Power over money is big power. The power is so big that knowledge of the monetary system must be common knowledge. Otherwise, it's wide open for manipulation and corruption by those in power. And what kind of power do we have today? Who has the power today? Autocracy, oligarchy, plutocracy, or democracy? So what does it mean for monetary reform? Does it differ depending on who is driving it? Can it be structured so it benefits those driving it? So monetary reform has to be forced. By who? By autocracy, oligarchy, plutocracy, or democracy? And can it be forced by democracy actually? Or has it to be asked for? So by whom? And does it make any difference? In our world, it makes all the difference in the world. So we are a grassroots movement, and that means we want to be the people's voice. So what to do when we build a people's movement, being the voice of the people? Yes, by mail, YouTube, articles, webinars, but also person to person. And when we get to person, we need to think about, can a few manage that? Can we only be a few people who talks with lots of people in society? In such a way, all communication need to be in such a way that we touch each one in what's important for them in their lives and show how it's connected to the monetary system. So how? This is how we think. Enroll people to be members, and that is what you see in the blue thingy on the left side. They will be the people having the daily conversations in society. For them, we must have a process for progress as change makers. I believe in learning by doing, so we start activities that develops knowledge of the monetary system with its implication, ability to act in society by talking and writing about our things, and building the culture on supporting each other. If we do it well, we will build spirit and courage. Also, we have a real-world feedback to base everything on. Let me give you an example of how we integrate this into one activity. We call this learning and developing conversations. We have meeting with members. And then we say, oh, okay, what kind of message, let's say a 30-second elevator pitch do you have, which opens the door for you to a bit longer presentation, let's say 2-minute message. And remember, it has to be in such a way that we touch each one in what's important for them in their lives and show how it's connected to the monetary system. And when we do these activities, it enhances knowledge about the monetary system. It enhances the ability to write and talk about the stuff. And it also enhances the ability to cooperations and self-leadership. Because when you're out there, you're out by yourself. So, you need to act, you need to lead yourself. And when we do that, we're actually building a culture. Oops, sorry. Where we develop and learn by dialogue based on feedback from action. We have support in the group. We ask questions in the group to understand. We build self-leadership, and this is important. We don't argue and criticize. Aim is not to win a debate to get everyone to agree with you. Share thoughts and experience, etc. And try to understand what the other people are saying. Try not to criticize them and tell them they're wrong and you're right. Okay. Also remember, change always encounter resistance. Always. I've seen it for 30 years, roughly. From others, why? Well, historical achievements are challenged. It's loss of prestige or position, and worldview is challenged. I mean, if you've been studying something for many, many years and you built your position of it, and suddenly there is a other reality which shows that, wow, I did actually something stupid and I don't have my position anymore. Well, of course they're gonna react. And also we have resistance from ourselves. You know, everybody has self-doubt, insecurity, and self-criticism. I mean, we just have it. It's like engraved into us. So what does it mean for the leadership? This much needed self-leadership and the culture. How does it have to be? Well, maybe think the opposite of this. What does it require from us? Well, we need, so people don't get discouraged by the resistance, back to this, a supporting culture. We need to lead by example, and in that way we build self-leadership. When we do and have that, we build spirit and make people more and more brave. Yeah, they need courage. It takes a lot to go against the ordinary view, the common truth. And when we do that, that makes us to be the change maker we need to be. And again, we progress when individuals progress. So it's a symbiosis. It cannot be in any other way. So, and if we don't do this, it will be business as usual. Who wants to lead a change if only thing you get is rotten tomatoes? Internally and externally. If we succeed, we will have a people's movement that is self-organizing. And that will give us a viral expansion and a true democratic process. Okay, that is the way of getting this spread in society. And if we have this, then we will have a better life for all. Thank you. That's it.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jussi. That's great. That's beautifully in time too. So we have time for questions.
Oh no, I was too fast then.
I'm very impressed with this. I think you come from, you know, being Dutch myself. I recognize kind of the social democratic tradition in thinking and attitude here that's very prevalent in Northwestern Europe. It's more civic minded. It's more optimistic about change because we've had experiences of change where the people really had an impact on politics. And especially in Sweden, you know, there are great stories to be told there about unions and organizing and, you know, pretty interesting and good transformations. So I very much appreciate that. I resonate with that. And I hope a lot of others will too. We're going to the first questioner, and I think it was Georg, who is the first one. So I'll ask you to unmute and post your question and lower your hand then again. Georg, go ahead.
Hello, thank you very much for the presentation. So as far as I understand, the establishment in Sweden is about to introduce a central bank digital currency called the e-krona. Yeah. First of all, is that correct? Second of all,
Yes.
what's your position on the e-krona? And third of all, like, what are you doing as Positiva Pengar in Sweden?
Well, yes, they are actually having doing tests on the e-krona in Sweden, and they are quite far compared to other central banks when it comes to that. My view on it is like, well, it depends what we do with it. Yeah. So we need to have it on democratic control, that's for sure, because it can be very heavily abused without doubt. Okay. So for me, it's important to get privacy and the do you call it self-sovereignty in English, you know, to secure that, like to having access to the payment system and having access to money is a universal right for everybody in the country that needs to be guaranteed. So it cannot be used for any social control. It's an absolutely must. That is my view of it. Okay, if we don't have it in the constitution, I think we can be on very, very slippery slope, because the reason we have a word as we have today is not because we lack resources, it's because people don't want to have it in another way, right? I don't mean everybody, but I mean those in powers. That's my easy view of it. So if you give them something that enhances their control, it's a bad thing for us. Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you very
Yeah,
much. Can you tell me like what you're doing as? Can I
Go
come
ahead.
back? Like I had like the third question. What is Pengar doing? You know, in order to sort of increase the whatnot privacy.
Yeah, for the moment, we are actually working to get a critical mass of people following us, you know, following our emails and, you know, engaging people, building material, trying to build our member base and all those things. Because if we start, I believe, and I might be totally wrong, I believe if we start too early, it will be like heard, but not felt. So we need more weight behind our words before we start at it. And this privacy and self-sovereignty will be very important things. And in Sweden, we have for the moment a government's inquiry into the payment market, which includes the e-krona. Okay, and we have talked with those state employees that are in charge of this, and they are very polite, but nothing more happens. It's impossible to get a dialogue. They just want us to present. And I don't believe in that. Okay, I've been into stuff, too many things to believe that everything changed just because we present something. I don't believe in that. We need to get pressure on this.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Jussi. Let's see who was next with their hand up. I think it's Sue or Joe. Let's have Sue the first, and then we go to Joe. Sue, go ahead.
Oh, hold on. What am I doing here?
Are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay, here
Yes.
I am. Okay, I couldn't see myself. Hi, thank you. I just want to say, I found your focus on the individual very calming, and it's very important because that's where our power comes from, each of the individuals. And I think that's an important message for people who want to change and fight against such powerful forces in the world that have been here for, I mean, they've been here for many, many years. So I just want to thank you for that, to reminding myself. Thank you.
Thank you for saying that. It's nice to hear.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Sue. Joe. Mr. Polito.
Hi, I quite enjoy some of the presentations I've attended for that you folks have sponsored with some very fine economists, including Michael Hudson. You're doing a great job of educating the public.
Thank you, Joe.
I'm wearing red today. It's a passionate color. Jeff Eder, who I don't think is here today, was proposing that knowledge isn't enough. We need to create pressure. And I like that point that you made. And I liked, you sort of preempted my question, which was, you know, how do we regulate and legislate CBDCs so that they work for us. And you've already addressed that. I think any institution that is human created needs to fall under its rule of law and can be challenged in the courts and everything else. And hopefully this is another innovation that follows that pattern. We have many things that could be abused, and our legal structures make sure that they fit within the social contract that we all agree to, our constitutions. So thanks for all your answers. You take care.
Thanks a lot, Joe.
Hey, Joe, that's great that you kind of paraphrased already what Mr. Ora was presenting. Last questioner, sorry guys, Carol, and I love that French name, Brouillet. Madame Brouillet, go ahead.
So Sweden has a central bank digital currency right now?
No, we have not launched it, but they are progressing quite quickly on it and doing a lot to try to get it out.
At the same time, is there an effort to eliminate the coins and regular money? I know in the United States, there's lots of places they will not accept cash, and sometimes, so is that happening too at the same time?
Yeah, I think we are on the forefront on that in Sweden. We almost no cash anywhere. Lots of shops says, no, we don't take cash. You need to pay by credit card or by the mobile phone or something else, okay?
Yeah,
it's been that for a long time, and quite a lot of people are opposing that actually, because they think that they lost their sovereignty in that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't have a cell phone, and I find myself more and more marginalized by society, but I don't like the construction of the surveillance state. I think it's very disturbing. So I'm very much in favor of boycotting those and trying to use some sort of local currency or national currency just to avoid central bank digital currency, which to me seems like the worst of all possible worlds. Thank you for the excellent presentation.
Oh, thank you for those words. And I also read what do you call it, an essay or something, research they made in Europe into the digital euro. And the biggest concern for people, I think it was like 60 or 65% of the participants said that was the privacy thing. They were worried about this power being abused and lose, because for social control and all the information you can get very easily on the backhand of the digital coin. And for me, it was very encouraging, actually, because I thought maybe I'm just, one of those crazy guys that see ghosts everywhere. So when I read that, it actually helped me a bit, I have to say. So I think there's a big awakening on these things, actually, because I think there's quite a lot of people that see, well, it doesn't work as we want to, but it takes a bit time before people act on it. But I think we will be there soon. At least I hope so.
Thank you, Jussi. Thank you for these indeed optimistic view. I thank you for your participation. I just want to reiterate to everybody that all these presentations will be available later on the YouTube channel of the AMI. Not right away, but you can review and I think, if you want to share these items with others, I think there will be no problem there. So let's go on with the program. We're nice in time here. Jussi, thank you so much. You too.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Have a great dinner.
If this video is helpful, please hit the like button. Subscribe for new video notifications. Please consider donating at monetary.org/donate. Don't forget to check us out on Twitter at AMI Monetary or on our website